Hi there, it's Vanessa. Good afternoon. Just going to make sure that I am actually live. Just refresh my screen here. And that I've got sound, my lovely friend, the sound. Okay. Hi there. Okay, now if I don't touch anything, hopefully it will be okay. Welcome along, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week's going well. Let's put that over there. Oops. Welcome along, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week's going well. Let's put that over there. Oops. Welcome along, everybody. Now, right, okay, turn that off. Excellent. Okay, where was I? This week we've got some online exclusives that have just launched. So you can pop onto the Stamping Up website and have a look at what's new and see what's new there. And there's also 3 kits that launched. One of them, unfortunately, is already unavailable. It's a really beautiful sort of white pool party and pink Christmas kit. But you can get notified when it comes back into stock. So if you log in and browse to that product, you'll see it's unavailable. And there's a little box comes up and you can enter your email address and accept that Stamping Up will email you. And then they'll just notify you once it's back in stock. So you can place your order. So that's really cool. And I will also keep an eye out and let you know on a social media post when it's available too. Okay, with the news out of the way, I will flip the camera to my still messy desk. I need to still have a clean up. There just aren't enough hours in the day. But I think you can all relate with the craft room experience. Okay, so today's card is... Now, I'm going to forget all the names of everything because I've been out today and I've really only just got home. Okay, I'm using the Traditions of Christmas DSP, which is this one. And it came as a suite with a stamp that does this image and also a little bunch of flowers. However, I decided just to get the paper and I'm going to show you how you can use just the paper. So this it's so pretty, and I'm using, I think it's this one in Classes this month. Oh, here's the other one. So it does that flower as well. So you can get that as a stamp, and then with the fill-in pieces for the flowers and the bow. So it's a really pretty set, and on the back you've got really versatile, plainer patterns. This one's really cool. Poinsettias there in the red. But really cool, on the back, very usable patterns there. And this is lovely with the secret C in the background. So we are using those in class this month, but I've got some other bits left over, and I thought, why not just do it with cutting out so there are dies, but I'm just going to cut out the shape. Fussy cutting isn't for everybody, I know, but it's... sometimes it's good just to do a little bit of fussy cutting. You can do it in front of the telly. And then I also have the embossing folder, which I haven't written down the name, and the name escapes me. But it does have this blank sort of space in the middle, and there's a die that cuts out that shape, and you can do layering and things like that. But I'm just going to cut out the shape by hand. So I've got a piece here of bubble bath that I just had an off-cut piece and I just put it in the folder like that, ran it through. So I've got the outline of my shape and I'm going to fussy cut that as well. So just something a little bit different to make a sweet little card. So let's start off with that one. And we'll use my smaller snips because we've got sort of corners to cut around. So I'm just going to start off cutting that out. Oh, I've got a shadow. Why have I got a shadow? I'll just see what I'm doing. Oh, if I tilt it like that, that's better. Who have we got? One person. Hello. Welcome along. I'm afraid I can't see comments. And I'm usually too busy crafting to actually read the comments. But I am toying with the idea of switching to YouTube videos. I do post these on my YouTube channel after I've been live on Facebook. But I find when I watch them back on Facebook, the quality is really bad. They really compress the videos. And people say that they get more reach and everything on YouTube. So I am thinking about that. I've tried to do both, and although I'm quite good at technology, that one just seems to have floored me. I can't seem to find a program. I think it's the Facebook's the problem. So YouTube, you can actually set it all up, and then with these third-party apps, you can just go live and it just does it. Whereas Facebook, you have to still do something on actual Facebook to get it to go live, even though I'm using a third-party thing. So it's just really annoying, and it never works for me. I can get one and not the other and all those sorts of things. Right, so I've just cut out my shape. And I'm also going to, my rubbish bin's on the other side of the room. It's quite annoying. Okay, I'm also going to, at this point, just finish cutting out my design. So I've snipped this out of the paper, and then I've cut half of it, so you didn't have to watch me do the whole thing. So I'll just finish this off. A very warm day today. It's something like 23 degrees, and I'm in my moon boot. I injured my foot. I twisted my ankle when I was out walking at Labour weekend, just walking around the campsite on the side of the road, and just sort of rolled off the road onto the grass. So it's in a moon boot. And the moon boot is the hottest thing ever on a 23-degree day. But I'm persevering because I want it to get better quickly. Okay, so I'm just cutting. And I don't go right down into the crevices. I think I've told you before. I used to, but not anymore. Just do a quick cutting job. And like I say, there are dies that go with this suite, so you don't have to cut it out by hand. The other thing I love about this is the colour combination. So it's putting pink and red together, which is something I don't normally do, but I really like it. And there's gold, and this pale colour here is Pool Party. And you know me with gold, anything gold is fabulous. So we're nearly there with our cutting. Oh, I've actually trimmed, when I've cut it out, I've gone very close to that flower petal. But it's all good. Yeah, so that embossing folder is part of the suite, I think. I'm trying to remember if it's in the catalogue or online. I think it may be in the catalogue. Right, so I've got all my little bits here I don't need. Actually, if I got the catalogue out, I could have a look and tell you. Oh yeah, look, it's on the front cover. It's the one on the front cover. And see, now we've got, so one of the kits that has just launched is this one with the Nutcracker tags. So I know people have noticed those in the book and then gone, oh, I can't get them. Where are they? They've just launched. And here we are. This is it. Christmas Greenery is the stamp set. There it is there with the two floral images. And, oh, it's the wreath folder that goes with this set. Okay. But it does, the reason I thought of it was this set was these labels, but yeah, it's a slightly different shape to that. So the other one is, oh, maybe that, oh no, here it is. So it's the one that goes with the Peaceful Garden. It's this embossing folder here, which is Peaceful Greenery 3D embossing folder. So that's the one I'm using. And the label is from those dies with the doves from the Peace on Earth bundle. So that's the label there that goes inside that embossing shape. Okay, but we have cut ours out and I finished cutting that, so we're ready to make up the card. So I've cut my layer so it's got a wider border than what I normally do. That was to get the folder because it's not quite the full size, so I've trimmed it to fit the width of the folder. But I quite like having that extra border. And so I'm going to stick that, what am I going to do? I'm going to put that flat, I think, and this on dimensionals. Yes, so I might put that on dimensionals too. Or do I do that one on dimensionals? No, I think I'll stick that one flat. Okay. The conversations we have in our head. You could do dimensionals for all the layers, but that might be a bit much. So I'll just stick that one, oops. Just stick that one there, and then put dimensionals for, and I'm using up all the bits from my classes. I end up with all of these with the edges still remaining, and people know they can cut the edges, but it's always easier, isn't it, just to grab the full ones. I do that myself, and then let's save the edges for the last. So I've got a few here that I'm using up. And I like to put, especially for a layer like this, I like to put lots of dimensionals. Make sure they're on firmly. So I hope you were getting on with your Christmas cards and getting them in the post. We were just saying the other day that that postal deadline will probably sneak up on us this month for any overseas ones. It always seems to happen. Okay, put that on dimensionals. And then I've got my die cut flowers. Be good to use this little one up. Something like this. Oops. Good having little pieces for something like this. Yay, there's another one done. Put some bigger ones in. It's a busy old month this month with classes. So I've got an extra class. I'm doing the Christmas cards and tags. I've got one. I've had one already this month, and I've got one more of that coming up, and plus the normal classes. And then I'm actually doing a de-stash market. So that's being run at Western Springs. I need to find exactly what the hall is called, actually, and let you all know. So I'm taking all of my retired stamps and dies, etc., to there and selling. It's on the 22nd of November. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp 'Tis the Season. This is from, where's that set gone? Oh, I misplaced the, oh no, here it is. Traditional labels. So this is the label one that I bought that I thought went in here. So, but it's got this 'Tis the Season one, and it's also got these other ones that are sort of curved, and they do this. There's a die that cuts that out, which is quite cool, a little banner. So we're using that in our class this month. So I've got 'Tis the Season, and I'm doing it in real red. Just noticed my piece of paper is not very well cut. It's fatter at one end than the other. But I think it's fairly even at that end, so. Okay, so now we're just going to trim a little slither off there, and then flip that, no, keep it the same, and put it over here, and then I can follow that same line. It's a little bit of a small piece, but just move it along. I don't want to chop the end off. I should have done it the other way. Anyway, where there's a will, there's a way. There we go. And that is also going on dimensionals. Well, on dimensionals where it is off the... I thought I'd sort of put it... Oh, it's actually quite nice down there. Down there, or my original plan was sort of over here. Don't want to cover up those lovely flowers, though. Actually, maybe down there is quite good, sort of off to the side. So we'll put dimensionals on the end. And then maybe one about here. And you probably don't need glue as well, but I might just put a little bit of glue about here where it's going to rest on that flower, just for added support. And then I want to see a bit of the pink, but not hide that flower completely, so make sure it's straight. Cute. And I love the texture of that embossing folder behind. I don't know if it picks that up on the video, but it's got the same sort of shaped leaves as this design here, even though they're from different suites, so that's pretty cool. Now I've got some, oh yes, here's my, I'm still using up my cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive blackberries, and these are still available actually. So I've got one red one sitting here I'm going to use. Where's my little tool? Oh, my tool has escaped. That's no good. Where is it? Okay, I'll have to do it with my little craft knife instead. I seem to have misplaced my take your pick tool. Oh well, this is the same concept, so just sliding something underneath the berry. And then probably want one under here, keeping, so drawing your eye to the sentiment. And then thinking maybe one here. And one here. Oh, they're kind of in a line. That doesn't work. I'll put that one there. It's better. I wanted one on the pink. Like, sort of bring out my pink and red combo. Okay. Happy with that. And then I didn't actually plan anything for the inside of my card. Excuse me. But what am I thinking? You could cut something else out of the paper. I've got a little bit left over there, but here's the sheet. So I've got two options. We can cut out something else from the paper, or I've got this strip, so I could just do a strip. Oh, that's quite nice. It's a different pattern, but it's the same colours. So perhaps that little strip on the inside might be quite nice. So I'll cut that to length. Same length as my inner. And just attach that. And then there's plenty of space to write. You could put Merry Christmas or something on there if you wanted to. But I like that, how it's different, but it still coordinates. It's the same flower and the same colours. And this would be, well, apart from the fussy cutting, if you had the dies, it would be a really quick card to make multiples of. Or you can just sit, I sometimes just take the paper and sit in front of the telly and do my fussy cutting. And then you can just make up the cards, you know, the next day or whenever you feel like it. So there we have it. 'Tis the season with the tradition, what was it called again? Traditions of Christmas Specialty Designer Series paper with the gold in the paper. I hope that is glittering for you in the screen there. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with how that turned out. I love that combination with the pink and the red with pool party and gold. I think it's very festive. And I will be back again in a couple of weeks' time. And I'd love to know what you think about the YouTube thing. Would you watch on YouTube or would you prefer Facebook? And what's the quality like for you? I don't know if it's different looking on the computer than it is on your phone. Obviously, the phone, with the screen being smaller, it might be clearer. So it could just be when I'm looking back at videos that they seem quite blurry on my big screen. So, yeah, I'd love to know what you think and how you're finding it. And on that note, I will sign off until 2 weeks' time. See you later.